Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Miss KK and this is The Wave. Today I'm back with a quick video that was requested by one of my Instagram followers based on something I regularly post on my story. So there's this thing that I do. Every time I get money before payday or every time I get money on payday, I would transfer money that was left in my account to my savings account, and before I spend money I will round off my salary to the nearest $1,000, and after I spend all my monthly expenses I'll recenter again, round off to the nearest $100, and every time I do that I throw that money in my savings account. And every time I post this, someone asks me, why am I doing it, how am I doing it, can I please explain what this is all about? All right, so this is what we are going to talk about today. So sometimes this year, I asked you guys to buy money boxes so that we can open it next year for us to be able to see how much we were able to save in terms of throwing in changes. It could be coins, it could be note, right? So, and when I looked the other day, it is nearly 6 months into the year and my petty cash is nowhere to be full. And I realized it's because this year I'm dealing less and less in cash. So last year we did the same challenge where we bought a money box and we were committed to throwing in cash. But the difference between this year and last year is I was hectically dealing with cash last year. We had constructions that was going on. Sometimes we pay construction materials in cash. Sometimes we pay the laborer that we're working on the construction site in cash. Sometimes we actually, had money from driving school that we regularly were receiving, and every now and then we have $20, $10 that we constantly throw in. So by the time we ended off last year, we had about close to 2,000, and we actually did some quite a lot of things with that money. We bought a shower head that needed to be replaced, we fixed the bulb, and we bought some other few things in the house. So I realized this year if I were to use the strictly cash method, I wasn't gonna get anywhere closer to that amount. So I actually revamped it and I started using my bank account to actually employ the petty cash saving methodology, and this is what I want to explain here. So all right, so let's just assume for argument's sake, before my salary comes in, I have 150 left in my account. For some odd reason, I never really got to spend that money, and my salary came in and I have 150. And let's just say for argument's sake, my salary comes in at 10,200. So as soon as that salary lands, I transfer the 150 that was left to my 32-day account, because that is the account that I'm using to actually bank this change. All right, so that is the money that was left before that I transfer. Then I actually tell myself, you know what, I want to start off spending on the round number. So I round down my salary from 10,200 to 10,000 and pretend as if I only got 10,000. So I again throw that 200 extra to my savings and I only start budgeting around the 10,000, and then things will start happening. The debit orders will go off, your insurance, your investments, and everything, black tax, etc., etc. And then let's just say for when all of that is done, I have maybe 2,350 in my account. Then I say I actually just want to recenter my spending focus and start off afresh again. So instead of me starting to spend at 2,350, let me say, I would normally say, let me round it off to the nearest 100. So this time I'm not going to go all the way to 1,000, because that money that is left is probably budgeted already. So if I actually then go and take 350, I'm actually shooting myself in the foot because I had plans for that money. So what I would normally do is then transfer that additional 50 to my 32-day account again, and then I'll start spending at that round number. And this, as the month progresses, I start rounding more narrower and narrower. So instead of me throwing 50, next time I throw a $20. The next time I round off to the nearest 30th, and I throw off a $10. Then I do it so much so that until it gets closer to payday, and then when there's maybe less than 200 in my account, I would say, you know what, I don't want my account to go below 200. I'll leave this money there. In any event, it still makes it to the next payday cycle. Then I'll round it off as when I get paid. So that's the cycle that I follow. I've actually realized by doing this, you can end up saving a lot more that you didn't anticipate. In some good months, you can go as far as saving 700, and this rounding exercise, and in some bad months you might actually end up only with 300 or 350. So really that is the strategy that I use. But at the end of the day, you are saving money you wouldn't ordinarily save. And the reason why I actually stopped using a lot of cash is because bank charges are really getting expensive, and I realized I'm gonna go cashless as much as I can. And earlier this year, my bank moved from charging us 130 something fixed fee per month, unlimited withdrawal, unlimited swiping, etc., to actually charging us 145 and $2 for every $100 that you withdraw, meaning that every time you withdraw 1,000, you pay $20. And I was not about to go waste my money in bank charges, so I actually just found smart way to pay. So I've actually structured my payment such that it's either EFT or it's debit order, or it's actually wallets, and it's actually cheaper to wallet than to actually withdraw the money. So guys, this is all I'm actually doing with the strategy. So if you see me doing this, is the reason why I'm doing it. It's just to structure my affairs better, to save on bank charges, to save in a little bit of cash that I would need at some stage, and to just make sure that I'm actually disciplined, because when you have a round number, it's actually easier to control where the money is going. And remember, we have this thing, because our brain was never really wired to deal with money. We have this thing where if you have 2,000 in your account, then you spend $10, your brain has already discounted it to, actually I only have 1,500, for example, so I might as well aid my brain in that discounting factor by putting it to the nearest number that I personally am willing and prepared to focus on, so that I don't actually squander it. Yeah, that's all I had really from today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please leave us a thumbs up, a like, or a comment if you enjoyed this video. Also, see if it's something you'd like maybe to try with a friend, because you always want to have an accountability partner to make sure that you actually don't drop out of this, habit somewhere in the middle of the year. Other than that, thank you so much, and it's goodbye.